Hi everybody, it's Kevin here. This first video is just going to show you some steps that you need to take when starting this craft day in a box to do a little bit of stamping ahead and some coloring. This stamp set is very color heavy, just because the images are all black and white outline. And so stop the video for just a moment, go gather together your coloring tools. I'm going to use stamping blends and I'm going to show you how to use some of the watercolor pencils as well. But you can certainly use any type of coloring tools that you have already and whatever your favorites are. Inside your stamp case, you're going to find some of the parts of your kit. We had to use every available space to pack stuff. So you're going to find your cloche domes in there. You're going to find some bags of different colored sequins. You're going to find some ribbon. And underneath the stamp set are some pieces of white paper. And we're going to want those because that's what we're going to do our stamping on. And just to speed things along, I've already done some of it in preparation. But you have a large piece that I think is 6 by almost 5. There's a piece that's 2 or 3 inches, 4 inches by 2 inches, and then there's a strip. Okay, and this is what you're going to stamp on those. You're going to need to find the stamp that is the cake base or the platter base. That's this one. And you're going to do 2 of those. I'm not really sure why we did one upside down, one the other way. It doesn't really matter. We're going to be cutting all of these pieces out. So that goes on the piece like this. You're going to need to do at least 2 of the candy apples. You've got room probably to get 3 or 4 on the strip piece. And then on the largest piece, however you want to try to arrange it, you need to have 4 pies, 3 of the big fruitcakes, and then as many cupcakes as you can fit in. If you can get in 5 or 6, that's perfect. And then we're going to color all of these, and we're going to fussy cut them all out. I know, we're making you work during this craft day in a box, but if you take a little while to do this all ahead of time, coloring's not bad once you start, you get going at it, and it can be fun. It can be a fun way to pass some time. So I'm just going to color a couple of these things with the blends, and then I'll color one with the pencils, and then I'm going to stop the video, go off and fussy cut them all, and bring them back and show you what we've got. But I thought I would do one of the fruitcakes because you might be wondering, well, what kind of colors do you use? And a glazed fruitcake generally has a white icing on it, but you color the way you want, and it's got gumdrops of different colors. So I'm just going to grab some of my brighter blends, and I'm just going to randomly pick a couple of gumdrops to color yellow. I'm going to pull the red in here. This is a Poppy Parade. I'll do a couple of red gumdrops. Gumdrops can be orange. So I've got my new pale papaya color here. There we go. Let's see, is that dark enough? Yep, that's dark enough. Do a couple of them like that. Oh, I didn't grab a green, so let me go to my bin of markers here and find my Granny Apple Green. That's a nice bright green for gumdrops. We'll do a couple of Granny Apple Green like that. I'm going to keep that out. I might want that. And maybe, what is this? This is a pumpkin pie? No, this is a Cajun craze. I know it's an odd color, but gumdrops can be all kinds of different colors. Let's do one of those. Let's do a hot pinky color here. Real red. And maybe I'll do that one real red too. Okay, and while I have my real red out, I'm going to color my holly berries up here at the top. Okay, perfect. Then, keep that one out here. I love that one. For the leafy parts at the top, I'm going to use Old Olive, light and dark. And so I'm just going to start with the, have I got my Old Olive? Yeah, okay. I'm going to take my dark, and I'm just going to do sort of an oval around the the line that's in the middle, like that. And then I'm going to go in and color in swirls and blend that out. Getting it really wet, lots of alcohol over top of the middle part, and that'll just blend that dark part. Like that. There we go. And then for the cake part, you could use ivory, you could use crumb cake, petal pink, so saffron. I'm going to use the light pale papaya because I think it makes a fun color for a cake. It's not yellow cake, it's not white cake. And I'm not really worried about trying to blend it too much. And I'm just coloring in between everything. There we go. So there's a cake. Just a fun way to do a cake. Nothing too complicated. Color it all in. Okay? And it's funny, but when you don't color the white, it actually looks whiter than white. The color around it makes it kind of, visually, it's just a trick of the eye, but it makes it look almost whiter than white. And when we cut out around it, it'll be even better. Okay, pie. The pie pans are hard to get to look like aluminum, if you want to do aluminum. So I decided I would opt for the old-fashioned, I don't know, my mother and my grandmother had them, the ceramic coated pie pans. So I've got dark and light and a blue here. I think this is the Seaside Spray. We don't have that color anymore, but anyway, there it is. And so I'm just going to go on an angle here, like this. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and take the light, and I'm going to go over top of that edge to soften it, and then color in the rest. And it just reminds me of those old-fashioned, shiny, ceramic-coated pie plate dishes that my grandmother and everybody probably had a set of those. Okay, and that just gives it a sort of a 3D effect. It's lighter down here. I didn't color as hard down here, and the dark blends, and it just makes it look like it has a little bit of a shadow on it. Now the pie, this is where it gets a little fussy and funny. We don't really have pie crust color, but we do have an ivory marker and a crumb cake marker. So there's my ivory, there's my crumb cake. Maybe I'll show you what the difference between the two is. I'm going to color a little bit of the ivory out here. I'm going to color a little bit of the crumb cake right here. Neither of those are really pie crust colors. But if you go back and add some of that pink, pale papaya pink to it, or if you have petal pink, you start to come up with colors that more resemble a pie crust. And I think I like it better with the crumb cake. So I'm going to do my pie crust, my whole pie crust, all of it, in the pale papaya. The little wiggly jiggles here on the side too. Like this. There we go. And then I'm going to use my light crumb cake, and I'm going to go over the whole thing with the light crumb cake. Okay. Now it looks dark, but after a while when it dries, it will lighten, and you can go back and you can add a little more of the papaya if you find that it's too brown. Okay. And then if you want, you can take Where did I have it here? The dark. No, not the dark papaya, a gray. A gray. And just do the little vent holes on the top to darken them up a little bit. Somebody said to me they thought they were seeds, but no, they're little vent holes in the top. And in a minute or two, when that dries, I'll have a nice pie crust color. Now, cupcakes. Cupcakes can be any color. The wrappers can be any color. So let's do a purple wrapper. So this works the same as doing the pie plate. You take the dark. I want the dark. Yep, okay. That's the dark. Okay. And I'm going to start in the top corner, and I'm going to go down on an angle on my cupcake wrapper. Like that. And then I'm going to take the light. And I'm just swirling over top of where that harsh line was that I created, and then I'm coloring in the rest. And when the alcohol mixes together, it'll pull the dark color into the light color. And as long as you do your shadows all in the same direction, your one light source will appear to come from whichever direction. So I'm doing all my shadows on the bottom left, so the light is shining down from the top. And so it would be the light on the ceiling or the light in the window. And you can see I've got a cupcake. So you do your cupcake wrappers in different colors that way. And you can do your icing on the top the same way. So I've got Rococo Rose here. I'm just going to pull the bottom edge, the bottom corner of each of these swirls, just like that. And then I'm going to go color in everything. I'm just going to pull those edges a little softer. And color in here. There we go. Voila. Okay, that's enough with blends. Now, what about color pencils? Let's color, let's do a candy apple. So candy apple, we need red, of course, for our apple. And the apple is the part at the, well, there's two ways to do it. You can have a caramel apple that has caramel wrapped up around the bottom of it. Or you can do a candy apple. This works better if you do a green. So I'll show you the green apple wrapped in the candy. So this one, my apple is in the top. I'm going to do caramel in the bottom. This one, it's going to be red sticky candy. I don't know what you'd call it. You know, it's that red cherry sort of colored sticky stuff that they dip them in. And so it's going to be red on the bottom. Now, I want my, no, that's crushed curry. Boy, some of these, nope, actually, yeah, that works. Crushed curry is going to work for caramel. So I am just very, very roughly coloring these. I'm just adding some pigment to them. I'm not trying to be too particular, because then I'm going to take a blender pen. If you have a blender pen, these are filled with, it's a type of oil, like linseed oil or something like that. And the minute you touch it to the pigment, the watercolor pigment comes all wet and allows you to pull it around and color it in. Now, my crushed curry didn't quite give me the yellow that I was looking for. I need to add a little bit of a brown color to it. So this is, no, I want brown. Want a little bit of early espresso. So I'm just going to do some very light lines because I probably don't want that much early espresso on it. And let's see how that blends in. Yeah, that's not bad. You can also do this. You can also pick the color up right off of the tip of the pencil and just color like that. You have to be careful about how much you color with a blend pen because it will wet up your paper and make a mess out of it. Okay. And so now I'm going to go do my red apple, or my red candy on this one. And then I want a green apple. So I'm going to use Granny Apple Green on the top to make a green apple. And then I'll use my blender pen to do my green. And you can do exactly the same thing to color in all the other shapes. The tray, if you want to do the tray so that it looks like a restaurant tray, you need a light and a dark gray. And so let me just see here. Yeah, I only have a light smoky slate and a light gray granite, and the smoky slate is the darker of the two. So again, I'm starting on my left end, and I'm going to do all my left edges like that, and then I'm going to come back with the lighter of the two and color the rest in. And really wet them where they cross so that I can blend. This is not the best combination because the gray granite almost has a brown color to it, but it's all I have, so that's what I'm going to use, and it'll work. Okay, you use what you got. If you're doing it with the colored pencils, we have, I think we have both of those colors. Maybe we don't. Maybe we only have the gray, but we do have black. So let's just see if we take a little bit of the black, turn this around this way. So if I put some of the black down here, like that, and come back with the gray. That, and then get my blender pen. Color it all over. Doesn't quite blend the same as the blends do, because in order to get it to blend as soft as the blends do, you have to really soak it, and then I'm going to ruin my paper by doing that. But if I spend a little bit more time with it and do a little more coloring with the pencils and, you know, fill it in a little more lightly here and there, I can get just about the same exact effect. But you can see how it's much softer and subtler with the blends, the alcohol markers. It does make them very nice, but you can get a very similar thing. So I'm going to leave this video here for the moment. I'm going to pause. I'm going to go finish coloring because you don't want to watch me color for an hour. And then I'm going to fussy cut all of these pieces, and I'll come back and show you the end result of what I've got. And then we can move on and start making our first project. Okay, and I'm back, and as you can see, I've got everything all colored here in a nice variety of different colors. Different colored cupcakes, different colored pie plates, some candied apples, some caramel apples. You color everything up the way you want to color it, and fussy cut them all out, and we will have everything ready to start our cards. We will be doing some more stamping and coloring on a couple of items as we go, but these pieces will help move some of the projects along more quickly so that we don't have to stop and color each time. Okay, so go ahead and pick a project video and start out on whichever one you like. Have fun. Thanks for joining us for Craft Day in a Box. Bye-bye.